Okay. Hi, I'm Monika Chandler with the Minnesota Department of Agriculture, and I'm going to do a follow-up presentation to Jerry's and talk about what we've learned over the long term in working with our point and polygon data. Okay, so if we have really small infestations like what Jerry was pointing out, where a point is the best way to represent that infestation, then by all means use a point. And this is an example with this blue mustard. I'm so proud of this. A volunteer found this blue mustard. It was the first and only report in the state. It all fit in a 1 gallon Ziploc. That was amazing. And there was no additional blue mustard at the site after this was hand pulled. So that was like the easiest infestation I've ever dealt with. And a point represents that really well. Polygons work well for most of the infestations that we work with. They are more expansive. Here you can see an example with baby's breath, that white flowered plant that you see spreading across a grassland. Polygons define the infestation really well, and they calculate the area for us. This gives us more accurate data about exactly how expansive infestations are. And when you start to sum infestations for either your own data summaries or researchers use these data, it really gives us a more accurate picture of how many acres of a given weed species we have. Here you can see an example where there had been multiple reports at the same location of spotted knapweed, and they were point reports. And so they really weren't telling us about what that infestation was really like. This was updated with a polygon, and then 4 points were deleted. So the original report was kept, and then a polygon drawn, and then we deleted 4 reports. When using Polygon data in ISM Track, it's a whole lot easier. So ISM Track is an invasive species management tracking system, and it's within EDDMapS. It's currently available for Minnesota and Wisconsin, and will soon be available for Alberta. So it's not available for everyone to use. But when we started working with our data in ISM Track, you can see here a site defined in white, infestations in red, and then areas where management had been done in yellow. So it really allows us to better say what work was done on what areas of an infestation. Also with ISM Track, it was really difficult to select so many points to show where you were doing treatments. This is an example with Dalmatian toadflax, where every plant in the area had been reported, which gives you a nice picture of what was happening on the ground, but is really hard to work with when you have so many points to then mark as treated. And then with biological control data, again, we work with this in ISM Track, and you can see the red infestation polygon. This is spotted knapweed. This is an old gravel pit, and now is a recreation area. And so there's a lot of spotted knapweed in this old gravel pit. And you can see the points where biological control agents were released, or if there's a monitoring report of a bioagent. So you can see those individual reports and the infestation overall. And because we work with large infestations in general for biological control, it's really helpful to find those infestations with polygons rather than points. And this is one example that you can see here. Here you can see there are large numbers of spotted knapweed reports in this area. And so I had thought there would be vast infestations and maybe we should be doing biocontrol work there. But then when I zoomed in, you can see on the right that there are really just a lot of points. And so I don't know, based upon all those points, whether this is really an expansive spotted knapweed infestation or just many people had reported it over time. I suspect there's a fair amount of spotted knapweed there, but it really would take a site visit. I can't look at the data and see what the level of infestation is. And so here I've just been singing the glories of polygons, but sometimes I could still run into trouble. And I created this problem that we're looking at right now, where we had crews mapping an Asian bittersweet in a park, and you can see what I failed to do was really clearly delimit where each team should be mapping, and you can see that they created polygon after polygon. So we can still end up with some messy data even when we're trying our best. The most important thing is to really just think about how your data will be used and what will work best for the way that you and the folks that you work with will be using the data. There are many different partners involved with data and developing some of these tools that we use, and I want to acknowledge them. And then I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I hope you can learn from some of my mistakes and avoid them making any mistakes like that yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Monica. And I apologize for my error earlier. I just misread the agenda, so I'm sorry
No
that I
problem.
botched that up. But thank you so much for being here and for that great presentation. We appreciate it.